Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be discussing exterior angles or angles formed outside the circle. The measure of an angle formed by a tangent and a secant, two secants or two tangents intersecting outside the circle is equal to 1/2 the difference of the measures of the intercepted arcs. Let's take a look at what that actually means in a diagram. In the circle, we have a visual representation of different lines. We have a tangent that touches the circle once on the outside, a secant that goes through the circle at 2 points, a chord, a diameter which goes from end to end, and a radius which is half the diameter. And then it also shows you what an arc represents. This is a great visual if you're confused on what the different lines represent. Here's another great visual that represents the difference between a tangent line and a secant line. A tangent line touches the circle once, and a secant line goes through the circle at 2 distinct points. Let's take a look at this first example. We have two tangent lines represented by AB, and by BC. Those are two tangent lines that touch the circle once. And in order to find the measure of angle ABC, you take 1/2 times the measure of arc AC, which is the major arc, and that major arc is the bigger arc, which is 260 degrees, minus the minor arc, which is the smaller arc, which is 100 degrees. So 260 minus 100 is 160, and 1/2 times 160 is equal to 80. So that means the measure of angle ABC is equal to 80 degrees. Again, it's 1/2 times the major arc of AC, which is 260, minus the minor arc of AC, which is 100. In the next diagram, we have two secant lines, line ABC and line CDE. We want to find the measure of angle ACE. In order to find that, it's 1/2 times the measure of arc AE, which is 80, minus the smaller arc BD, which is 20. 80 minus 20 is 60 degrees. 1/2 of 60 is 30. So the measure of arc ACE is equal to 30 degrees. In the next diagram, we have a tangent line and a secant. We have the tangent line, which is AB, because it only hits the circle once, and we have a secant line, DCB. We want to find the measure of angle ABD, which is 1/2 times the measure of arc AD, the bigger one, which is 100, minus the smaller arc of AC, which is 30. 100 minus 30 is 70. 1/2 of 70 is 35 degrees. So the measure of angle ABD is 35 degrees. Let's look at this next example problem. In the diagram below, tangent DA touches the circle once, and secant DBC, which goes through twice, are drawn to circle O from the external point D, such that arc AC, here's arc AC, that's congruent to arc BC. If the measure of arc BC is 152, determine and state the measure of angle D. So here's angle D. We don't know what it is. So we have to do some additional work to this problem. So if this is 152, then this is 152 as well, because they're congruent arcs. Now remember that the amount of degrees in a circle is 360. So I need to figure out what arc AB is in order to find that angle ADB. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 152 plus 152. That's going to give me 304. And then I'm going to subtract that from 360 degrees. And that's going to give me 56. So arc AB is 56 degrees. So again, in order to find angle D, it's going to be 1/2 of the measure of arc AC minus the measure of arc AB. So again, 1/2 of AC, which is 152 minus 56. So 152 minus 56 is going to give me 96. And I'm going to half 96. And that's going to give me 48. So the angle D is equal to 48 degrees.